Howdy, friends. How's it going? How are we doing? How are things? It's Saturday. We're gonna do more Happy's Humble Burger Farm. I'm very excited to do more Happy's Humble Burger Farm. It's Borg time. It's Borger time. We're gonna make some burgers and probably die a ton more. It's gonna be great. I'm genuinely excited about this. I do want to finish Silent Hill sometime soon. However, I am still in a very shitty mood right now. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to get frustrated during a game that I like really like, but know is frustrating. So we're going to do a game that is better and not nearly as frustrating. So it's Happy's Humble Burger Farm today. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the thing. I think we'll probably just play this all weekend, honestly. And then I'll figure out a time. I mean, I can tell you later. I can fill you in later. It's just the usual shit, honestly, at this point. But yeah. It's all fine. We're making it work. Everything's gonna be okay. I just am in a bad mood. And it's fine. But not bad enough to not want to be here. I want to be here. Right? Any drama but my drama. Well, I can help you with that. No, it's nothing. Well, I can't say it's nothing big, but it's fine. We'll talk about it later. So Happy Humble Burger Farm. I was really enjoying this yesterday. And between me being in a shitty mood and also just being, like, hyped up about this game, we're gonna play more of it. And I think that's all I've got to say. As far as, updates are concerned, we're gonna get back to my lovely daughter and In Sound Mind this next week, which I'm excited for both of those games, too. It was nice taking a break from all of our spooky content with Wholesome Week and everything, but I'm happy to be checking out some of these new games. Well, new games. New for us. So yeah, I guess that's all I got for right now. Right, I'm also glad that we're back. I think I needed a little bit of a break from what we were doing, but I think so many of the games that we had been playing, I'd either played before and wanted to share and was excited to share them, but I think taking a week and now getting into, like, new spooky games that I haven't experienced yet, is really what I needed. So I might work on, like, making sure that we do more new content, and then occasionally, like, replay a game that I want to replay. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice to be able to take that break and, like, figure that out. But, yeah. Luna, welcome. Hello. How's it going? So yeah, it's really fun and refreshing and nice to be able to play a bunch of new stuff that new to me, stuff that I haven't experienced before. So I guess let's just do it. Let's just get on into it. Let's just make it happen. I haven't launched the game just yet. Right? Same. I mean, there's definitely some games where I'm just like, nah, I just want to share this with everyone so that you can experience, but at the same time, it's like, no, like, let's play this together. Let's experience this together. Great. Beautiful. Fucking praise the bun! Praise the bun! That was cute. I liked it. I think everything is still updated from yesterday. It is. Okay. Our bot coming in being like, no, I got this for you. And it's like, okay, but I needed it. I needed it when I needed it. Chatbot. Yeah. I did double check to see if anyone had updated content warnings for this game. They have not. I should probably update our content warnings with... Is there anything I need to update it with? I don't think there's anything I need to update it with at the moment. We'll just keep it in mind. Unless noted, every sandwich needs every topping. Got it. Ayo. What? What? Where did all of our Gregs go? Game!
I'm not a robot, you're a robot! Well, let's start from the beginning.
Oh, right, the medical stuff at the beginning. Yeah, we haven't come across any of that since then. Sorry, the door opened and it freaked me out. Stop staring at me, Toe. I will update it with that, though. If for no other reason that we can keep it in mind and let people know. Put it in as some medical procedure scenes. But yeah, we haven't really seen any of that since the very beginning of the game, so it should be fine. Yummy. Also, they have been Greg napped. What are we gonna do? Also, I think all of the... I love the sound that Greg makes. All of the figures that we had are gone.
What I have seen underground is nothing short of horrific. It's not just our experiments.
I am upset.
Something is alive down there. Upon extraction,
Okay,
I must demand Zane reconsider his Lucidus initiative. It must be shut down immediately and permanently. We must seal the underground facility. Grim is not mad, but I fear he's been staring into the darkness for far too long and losing sight.
We got grobbed! What? We got grobbed! Why? Why is that so good? What is Toe doing? Toe... we were gonna try and get into the museum, right? But museum is still not accessible at the moment. I know it's Greg robbed. Toe was going the right way. You can go either way. Whoops, cat. It's fine, Emmy. You got this. It's fine. Yeah, we were gonna try and, like, get into the museum, but it's all blocked right now. Yeah, you got this. I got faith in ya. Don't even worry about it. But Vic was, like, super adamant about us checking out the museum, to which we were like, Vic, I can't check it out if it's locked, but here's the museum. I can't go in. Vic! So that might have to wait. Still not a fan of all the whispering that goes on in our little headset. But that's okay. I don't know why I feel the need to jump on every single car, but I do. So we're going to. New Elysian should be New Elysium. I think the town is Elysian. I think. Which doesn't, like, make it right. But I think the town is New Elysian. I don't fucking know. Disco Elysian. Can you imagine a cross between Happy's Humble Burger Farm and Disco Elysium? And how weird that would be? It'd be great. You need to go away. Also, can we get rid of all of this? Snow. That's what this is. He's looking at me. Okay, he's gone. Great. You love to see it. Let's take care of all the traps. Giant pig appears. Neither Harry nor Horrible Necktie can believe their eyes. Harry is awfully confused as he has been sober this entire time. That is, if I'm playing as Harry. We're cool. We're straight edge.
I'm not the biggest fan of modern art, but maybe you should head to the museum. Could have some answers for you. Who knows?
Vic, I would love to go to the museum, okay? I would love to go check out the museum. The museum's not open, though, buddy. To take the anti-radiation drugs that make you hallucinate, Kim told everyone. One time! One time! Did it once. Okay, I'm sorry. I regret everything. It's just once. I offered him some too. And Kim was like, there was so much judgment coming from our perfect sweet boy. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I felt bad. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay, there's the boxes. Kimball Kitsuragi. Our best boy, though. Real talk. You need to stop moving around. Can I unzip you?
I'll help you fast, happy old pal.
Do you all have zippers? Again, the worst man in Rubber Shawl is gonna be hilarious and painful. For real, though. For real, though. I know I keep putting it off. I know I keep putting it off. They do all have zippers. I hate that. But I think first of the year is what I'm shooting for a, Bo. I think you're a little early. Sam, hi! Do I not just, like... Never mind, maybe you're not early. Why are my notifications not going off? Why is everything broken? But hi, Sam! Welcome! Hello, Bo! Welcome! Oh, something with the rain... Okay. Well, that's okay. You're here now. We're just gonna have technical difficulties all over the place today. It's fine. It's totally cool. It's all fine. Alright. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. However that happens. Let's hop on over here and say hello to everyone. Think y'all know me. I'm not gonna introduce myself this time around. It's fine. Of all the things, that one is the most important. Right? Glad something works. So, I guess you could say this is FNAF adjacent, as in there are giant animatronics, or at least giant mascots running around. They're not really animatronics, are they? They're just statues. That one, he's just making the rounds out there. He's just pacing in here. So, kind of, only, you know, better and not bad. So, so yeah, I guess you could say it's like FNAF, only isn't nonsense. I mean, it's nonsense. This is nonsense. Who am I hearing? Oh, it's you. Just a naked man. Okay. Well, you can't see anything, because I forgot to move this over, but it's okay.
Have a good stream, streamer.
Oh, I will, Sam. Don't you worry. Thank you for the biddies, friends. So this game is like, it is like Diner Dash. If Diner Dash were on all of the drugs, and I mean all of them. We're living in an alternate reality, according to the the disembodied head that is hanging out in the hole in our apartment, who is an AI. That's fine. Our corporate overlords are trying to make me work all the time. There are giant animal bosses that, well, at least thus far we've had to throw burgers at. I don't know what all the other ones are gonna be like. It's a trip. It's a weird game, and I kind of love it. There are some jump scares. There are some flashing lights. There's a lot of sounds. There are all of the sounds. We do have a mind control chip in our brain. That is true. So yeah, it's wild. We're still trying to piece everything together, but it's a good fun time. As per usual, if anyone needs the content warnings, we do have those available in chat at the moment. Can you not? Exclamation point CW is what you want to type to pull those up if you want it. It is not a super comprehensive list because this game did just come out yesterday, so we are trying to kind of figure out what all of the options are. Oh, I gotta turn on the light, don't I? Or we're trying to figure out what all the content warnings are, so just approach with caution because of that. But so far it's been pretty mellow, all things considered. But it's good. I like it. Emmy, every single time, without fail. Alright, we can get the baby voice. We can do a baby voice. Hang on. I forgot to open up voice mod again. Despite knowing that this is what was gonna happen. Alright. I did listen back to some of the nonsense that was happening last night with the voice mod on, and oh boy, was it a thing. Hold on, I have to grab my phone. Because it is on the charger. It's not fully charged. That does kind of bother me, but it's fine. We'll roll with it. I know there's a way to set up like a timer on stream, and I should do that at some point, but not today.
Oh, not today. It's at 83%. 83. Baby is here. Your 5 minutes has started. Alright. I turned the light on. Chicken was staring at me. It was weird. Appliances. There is a customer. Great. I don't appreciate the knocking. I'm still not entirely sure how to make that happen. But that's fine.
no customer service, Kaysh. Anyway, give me 2 seconds. Hi, Arcade. Welcome in. Emmy, don't fill me with helium. Toe's best is the worst, also. And it's true. Toe is less than useless. Travis is correct there. Nobody else wants a burger, right? It's true. You are an agent of chaos. We do know this about Emmy. Okay, I'm gonna take some of these hot pies. You are going to cook this for me. Okay? Need you to understand that I need you to cook that. And, like, actually cook it. Okay? This was a no tomato situation, right? Why is the Roomba on the counter? Are you done yet? But yeah, I guess I could try a customer service voice if you wanted. Okay. Where though? There she is. Happy, please. I don't know where to make your dumb burger. This is a problem. Where? There she is. What did we do wrong? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Feed her, evil Patty! Okay, well this is a little bit of an issue. Because I don't know. Yeah, I know this meat is spoiled. That's the point. Yeah, you gotta make her, you gotta make a bad patty for her. But, oh, you need to make a hamburger patty though. Are you? Oh no. This is not ideal in the slightest. We gotta keep an eye on her. This is bad. I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is, but we got the evil Patty in the works. Oh, ma'am. Are you kidding me? I can't make you a damn patty if you turn off my appliances, ma'am! You gotta stop, Happy. This is horrific. Was the Roomba pushing her? Okay, we just need lettuce. Lettuce was the only thing I couldn't pick up. Roomba, please! Get away from me, ma'am! Okay. Okay. Can you... Wowie! Failed to complete a restaurant event. Took too long on a lobby order. Those were my infractions. Are we... Oh. Everything's bad back here. We've done it very bad? Lights are still out. This is fine. It's all fine. Things are a little tense. You want a pork sandwich, no lettuce. Our energy is very poorly. We gotta take a short break. I'm sorry. Okay, okay. What did you want? Shake and a soft drink. Shake. No, that was a soft drink, but that's fine. Oh, Lord.
I'm not the biggest fan of modern art, but maybe you should have.
Thought they turned that off.
Could have some answers for you. Who knows?
I want a stir and a soft drink, actually. Can't help you. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Really? Really? Don't laugh at me. What do you want? No lettuce. Shift is finished, though. It doesn't matter. We've done it so bad today. That's okay. It's our first shift this time, so, like, can't all be perfect. And we survived happy. Right? We did okay there. Please. I just want to clean up my mess. That's all. The single customer was pleased. Yeah, we survived a cow attack. I think that's pretty good. I think that deserves to be celebrated. It's fine. We got $76. And maybe now that we're done with this shift, we can go to the museum. Mayhaps? It's all about the customer. Oh, I need to clock out. Here I was ready to just leave. Just the one specifically. Make the customer the singular customer. Kitchen lights work again. Okay, let me clock out. And we did get a bonus. We got $86 in total. I'm happy with that. I'm pleased with that. As long as the one customer's happy, we're all good. But yeah, now that things are a little less crazy, how's everyone doing? How's it going? That was wild. Didn't appreciate it. But it's fine. We did it. We finished. Tried to throw a brick. It didn't work. Toe's just happy to be outside. Good for you, Toe. Alright, well, Vic kept, like, yelling at us to go to this museum, right? I don't know how, though? I don't know how to go to the museum, is the thing. Because, like, this bitch empty. I can't just break in, can I? Or can I? It's a construction area. Let's go to bed. Can we craft a grappling hook? It's worth a shot. Let's go to sleep and see if something happens for tomorrow. Because it might. I mean, I love me a good grappling hook. For real, for real. Attention, New Elysian law states pet owners must clean up after their pets. Failure to comply with the pet waste law will result in credit fines, World Scythian social credit docs, and even confiscation of pets. Don't take my pet. Look, Toe can't help himself. And I can't keep track of Toe all the time. No, tomorrow definitely contains evil cows. I don't want you to get your hopes up too much, David. Because there are definitely evil cows. Every day. You can't get away from the evil cows. I'm sorry. Let's go check on Vic. Hey, Vic.
They said I was the coolest robot in the factory.
Where did my battery go?
I see you looking at me. Got something to say?
Wasn't looking at you, though? Situation is hopeless. Utterly hopeless. Fruity. Fruity, please. Goodness gracious. Okay. Not the Mushu. Not the Kayshurrr pork. We could... What does that say? That's just this texture, but smaller. Okay, I thought we had a battery in here, but we can make another...
Wait. Don't go. Don't leave me here alone.
Okay, so we need a battery. Oh, wait.
I'm not a robot. You're a robot.
A burger bomb. What does this do for us? What am I standing on? No, I just want to read. There are... These are tricky. Once they're armed, they explode. Find the burger bomb symbols. Oh. Okay, so we need 3 burger bombs. Because I have seen... No, 2 burger bombs. I've seen 2 burger symbols. Because there was one in the cemetery and one at work. We gotta make a shopping list, y'all. It's shopping list time. We need 2 burger bombs, which includes 2 boba cells, 2 patties, and 2 alarm clocks? Are they available at Steal and Sell? Stupid clock is a perfect timing mechanism to trigger the explosion. Whoa. There's tons of them, and they make a great source of explosives. Patty found a burger farm, yeah. Okay.
Sometimes my body goes entirely numb. And I
You
don't
don't-
know why.
You don't have a body. Okay, and then we
What if
need to
this isn't
do
real? Am I real?
one
Oh,
more of
God.
those, which is Rolo paste. Wait, we have Rolo paste. We need the FM transmitter and another boba cell. So 3 boba cells, 2 patties, 2 alarm clocks, 1 FM transmitter. That's a lot of stuff I need to go get. That's fine, we can do it. Happy's humble formula. Oh, it just gives me a patty. Okay. Which I could just steal from work. 1, 2, 3. Cool, we got enough batteries. I should just steal the other patty, but they're only $3, which, all in all, is not terrible, considering how much we usually get. Right? Okay. Batteries go in the sink, right? And we don't need any Rolo paste. I think I am just gonna go steal the patty. We have to go wander around anyhow. Let's do the alarm clock and the transmitter first, because then we can make it worthwhile.
Museums are boring, especially after defeating giant big monsters. There's gotta be something here to use.
We gotta find... Oh, maybe we should just buy enough for 3 bombs, right? Because there's gotta be... There's gotta be a bomb symbol around here somewhere for the museum, right? First things first, let's get that transmitter done. Or the, get the FM transmitter for the hacking tool, so we can break into that room. And then we can worry about bombs. Anything to put off, making more burgers. Okay, let's buy that. And we also need 2 alarm clocks. $30? Okay, maybe our second bomb will have to happen after we work a shift. Oh no. I'm pretty sure they were making the Berg bomb when there was that weird bit on the TV. Probably? I vaguely remember the alarm clock during that weird segment. So that's exciting. Television showing you how to make bombs! Escape from the Barn has been faithfully remastered, and the entire series is now available in high-definition video. It even includes previously banned episodes. Remember Meat and Clock being involved? My favorite combination of things. Might have been able to break sequence. That's true. Well, no, that would have been true. We'd still have to like wait until after we beat the first boss, I think, because that's when the hole opened up to us in the apartment. But you could just go there as soon as, sorry, doors make my brain stop
I see
working?
you looking at me. Got something to say?
You could still, like, technically kind of break sequence. You wouldn't have to wait until you got the, until you got the recipe for it, because the keypad hacker is the recipe that we got from the pig. From PD Pig. So you could still... Why is Toe pulling a Blair Witch over here? Hey, Toe? Hold to severed head room is new. Ah! What are you doing, Toe? Oh, it's Toe's room! We're going into Toe's room. This is...
Happy's Humble Burger Farm is introducing brand new items to the Happy
Hey,
Humble menu.
Toe?
No, we aren't bringing back the children's
Hello,
steak and
my name
cheese
is
sandwich.
Theodore Oliver Emerson, but my family calls me Theo, and my friends, they all call me Toe. I've wanted to escape that nickname since childhood, and I finally did when I got here, but now I'd give anything to hear them call me Toe one last time.
I am scared. Okay, well, our buddy is... We'll just eat this instead. We'll get our energy back up. Canned food bad is what we're hearing. Oh, this is horrific. Oh, I hate this. I can believe that I ate that. Hey, Toe? Is Toe dead? He's not moving, like, at all. Then who was Toe? We've been working a lot. I am so concerned. Tubbsbuster, thank you for the follow. Toe, my friend, my buddy. I am concerned. I think we need to leave. I think it's time we leave. Hard to see big picture behind pile of burgers. It's a whole thing. This game is a whole thing. I love it. I'm here for it. That meat's not gonna work. That's bad meat. Hey, Toe. I got meat for you, buddy. It's definitely a thing. It is an experience. It's... I've been having so much fun with this game, honestly.
Look at me. This is what Happy does.
Okay. Let's go get a patty. I don't want to buy it, but I also don't want to run all the way to work. So... I'll just buy it. It's fine. I want to make... that bomb. And, like, the obvious choice would be to use it at work, right? At that section in the freezer. But I want to know what's in the cemetery.
You're scared of me? I'm harmless, but
Okay, Vic, that's cool. I guess, does anybody have, like, a strong opinion about where we use the burger bomb? We got a meat clock. It's not as good as our other meat clock friend. No, he wasn't a clock. He was a radio. Meat radio was great. We loved meat radio. Yeah, we can use this at work.
Still haven't gone to the museum, huh? You should go there for the Happy the Humble Heifer exhibit.
Also, Vic, I
Find out
can't
some of the creepy history of your
can't
corporate
go there
overlords.
yet, buddy.
They sure do milk that franchise. Am I right?
Not the milking joke again. Not the milking joke again. Okay, yeah. We can do the bomb at work first in the freezer and see what that does. I'm pretty sure the one at the cemetery is not necessarily optional, but not what we need to do, because we had to, like, that was out of the way. The work one was, like, pretty obvious. Are we going, Toe? Come on, buddy. Let's get out of here. Well, there is a version of Toe running around.
I hope you're happy, because now you're going to be serving hot dogs. It's simple. Hit up the new station, slap a bun down, the meat, some ketchup and mustard, and you're good to go.
Okay. Oh, it's armed! It's armed! Oh, that's not... Oh, no. Draining the basement. I need to drain the basement first. Okay. Can't be structurally sound. Definitely questionable at best. I don't... Oh no. Go. Down, please. Please? Okay. I would like to not be in here. I don't... We don't have a, like, air gauge? So I don't know if I can drown or not. Oh! We did it! Right, we can we can hold our breath for a little bit, which is great. I just didn't want to, like... I feel like I can hear somebody walking around. Oh! Oh! Are there more bombs that I can activate out here? Uncertain. Okay. Well, is there anything else I can get from here? Aside from, like, those 2 notes that we nabbed. Hello? I don't like it when the music picks up. I hear someone upstairs. I think that's what's going on. Okay, what's on the roof? Hello? Can I not? I'm sorry. Do I live down here now? Or can I... This seems like a problem. We're gonna be mole people. Oh! Oh, I found it. We're fine. It's a little red over there. It's fine. I'm sure it's completely normal and safe. I mean, that's where I activated it to bring the water down. I just didn't see that there was a pipe that I could crawl through.
The one they used to keep in the Burger Barn simulation. The tech in HHBB was too effective and the hypnosis was too strong. It made me nauseous. Everything was all warped looking and jittery. After the big explosion knocked the simulations off the grid, I managed to break out of there. But Paragon captured me and moved me here.
Who?
To Happy Burger. I think this diner simulation stage is much older than Barn. The hypnosis is so much weaker. I've started to remember who I am again.
Deepest lore. Okay. Well, that's a thing, I guess. So if that's what was down there, we should probably do another shift so we can get some more money. Well, I've got enough. Because it was 30, right? For a clock? Or was it 50? Thought it was 30. I think it was 30. Okay. We could technically make another... We could make another bomb. And check out what's in the cemetery. I do kind of want to, like, find as much stuff as possible. I am fascinated by the, by this story that's happening, and I kind of want to know everything. We're de-holing the men again. We are. That's what we do, and you know it. You know it, Fruity. This is my jam. We already know what's in the cemetery. It's Mary. Well, then I gotta go get her. We gotta go get Mary. Alright, hear me out. Gotta go get Mary. Our sweet, precious baby. I kinda wanna do an explosion in the cemetery. So we will come back. We'll come back here in a little bit, right?
Still haven't gone to the museum, huh?
Vic.
You should go there for the Happy the Humble exhibit. Find out some of the
Our boy Reggie. We love Reggie here. She's the leader of the Buds. You know her well. She's finally back to... What is she doing? Oh, you know, heifer stuff. Like the little... the little notes between the loading screens. Here, let's go ahead and buy...
These overpriced candles to set ambiance.
Ambiance.
They're shaped like crows and ravens.
Bubble cell, humble bar... Alarm clock? It was 30. Okay. And we do have an extra battery at home. So... let's go ahead and make another bomb. You know that trend when people put put Chris and Susie from Deltarune into other video games. I think we should do that with Mary in any video game environment that contains a cemetery. I mean, TBH, I think we kind of do that already. There's no images of it. But we talk about finding Mary and Reggie all of the time. All of the time. Arcade, I don't think you understand how much I, and probably a lot of people in chat, fucking love Cemetery Mary. Let me just reiterate how great it is. This is fine. This is all fine. Alright, it's bomb time. Praise the bun. But genuinely, look. Listen, Arcade, listen. It's a good game. I'm very excited for the Steam release. I am kind of waiting to do other playthroughs of it for the Steam release. At first it was just me waiting because I have been stupidly busy with school, but now it's like, nah, I gotta wait until the Steam release. Gotta get all those new pictures. Beautiful. But you don't gotta. If you don't wanna. I was gonna say, if, when the Steam release happens of Cemetery Mary, y'all wanna play it again? I kind of didn't wanna, like, I didn't wanna stream it, because I wanna make other people play it as well. But also, what if I stream Cemetery Mary again? What if? Probably gonna do it. Fucking love that game. You were saying I'm too nice. Toe, I need you to not breathe in my ear, buddy. I'm having a moment with my friend over here, okay? Toe's like, I'm gonna sneak up on you and go, okay, where is... Gotten distracted by all the things that are happening. Where is the cemetery? Toes run. Oh my god. Is it back here? Toe's off to work. Bye, Toe. Have fun. I am never showing up again. Is it here? Is this it? What are these bad, terrible sounds we're hearing? Hello? No, this is the Java joint. That man just appeared. Where in the fuck? Is it closer to my apartment than I thought it was? Do we live in front of the cemetery? Game. Look. Tubbsbuster's got, has redeemed a pronouns, please. Hey, y'all. Everyone in chat. If you're comfortable sharing your pronouns with us, now is the time to do so that we can all refer to you properly. Tubbs uses she, her. I also use she, her. Fruity Spruce uses any. Any and all pronouns. Thank you, Tubbs, for redeeming that. Chappie uses he, they. Oh. Arcade uses she, her as well. Okay, that hurt. Can I go in? I have to step on it. Okay. I like that redeem because oh my god, we're twinning. I do really like that use... I don't... If I do this, will it keep dinging? It's not going to. Okay. I do like using that, having that redeem. Because it's always hard to tell, with, like, usernames and stuff. Just, like, generally speaking, it's hard to tell, like, what pronouns a person uses just based on a username alone. I want to make sure I'm using the right pronouns. It's important to me. Okay. What? Don't mean to goof on the redeem. I just like pog nouns. Look, everyone's pog nouns, or everyone's pronouns are pog nouns if you're using them properly. No, it's good. It's good. These are bad sounds. Back in the day. I mean, like, it's valid. I think I probably did something similar as well, honestly. But it's like, at this point, I'm still working on it. But for the most part, I just don't assume. I just wait until someone, A, tells me what their pronouns are, or B, I get a chance to ask them to, like, double check. But otherwise, I just default to they, them. Because A, it's easy. B, it's just better this way. I think we need some energy. We need to buy us some humble bars. We need to buy some humble bars. I mean, it takes a lot. Right? No, 100%. I appreciate the fact that, like, so many people nowadays are also just, like, they do include it in their profiles. Or are, like, they just use that when they introduce themselves. That's something that I want to work on. Just doing the whole, like, hi, I'm Kaysh. I use she, her pronouns. But no, it's a lot to unlearn. Like, so much of our... I'm just gonna go on a rant about this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not sorry, but also... Oof. But it is really easy to just default to, like, a certain gender as far as, like, speaking is concerned. Just because that's how society is geared at this point.
The museum has it all. An art gallery, a
Vic.
happy exhibit,
Vic.
a weakness in the facility you can exploit to potentially escape. You know, museum stuff.
You know, museum stuff. So yeah, it takes a lot to unlearn it, but it's also, like, I feel like it's obvious when people are trying to put in the effort to unlearn that, as opposed to people who are just being dicks about it and they're like, haha, I'm only going to use this gendered, words for people who clearly don't like it, ha ha ha, I'm so cool and edgy. It's just like, no, you're just being an asshole, and I need you to not do that. Sorry, I, like, lost my thought partway through there, but I think y'all get what I'm saying. But yeah, it takes a lot to unlearn it, and I am so happy and proud of so many of y'all for trying to unlearn that. It's important, and we're here for it. Keep up the good work, y'all. Okay, I'm just gonna take a quick look around to see if there are no, like, we don't have any burger bomb symbols over here. So I don't think we can just blow the gate up. Right. Hold on a second. And now I've completely lost my thought. Okay, it's fine. Burger bombs! Yeah, I don't see a way for me to get in. This is... There is a person up there, though. Can you see him? He's like way the fuck up there. Right there. What are you doing up there? But along the conversation of pronouns and gendered terms, I'm trying, like a lot of us, I'm also trying to, like, work on not using, certain, like, gendered terms and stuff for just my general talking. And I want to say I do a fairly decent job of it most of the time, but also trying to unlearn calling everyone dude all of the time. That one's been real rough for me. If it does bother anyone while I'm trying to learn how not to do this, please, 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 please let me know. Please. Sleeping is good. If Emmy can get a nap in, let Emmy get a nap in. I understood. My brain auto-corrected it for you. Don't worry about it, David. Naps are important, though. Gotta take a nap. I'm gonna throw this brick at this creature. Get out of here. Please. Please. Allie did say that she might fall asleep and take a nap. Nah, good. I'm glad they're all sleeping. Don't use gender terms for others too often, but I do have a bad habit of calling friends my love, my sweet, my darling all at once. I always have to hold back when it comes to less close friends because I can forget that might be creepy to someone I don't know well. Don't say it in a romantic way, I say it in a Dracula way. I also understand that. That's been one of those fun things when I've been trying to figure out, like, what I want to call all my friends, and stuff, because I would just be like, my loves! But also realize that could be extremely off-putting for new folks. And that's 100% valid. It's all good. So I usually I just default to pals at this point. Or buddy, although it's been brought to my attention that some people don't like buddy because it is, I guess, and I say I guess because where I grew up, it was definitely used for everyone, but in certain regions it is more aimed towards, like, young men, little boys, and stuff like that. Buddy pal. Those are, like, my defaults now. But I'm gonna be careful about that one. So it might just be pal. What's up, pal? As others started to absorb buddy pal through osmosis. Hey there, sport! How's it going, buddy? I also, it's not the best of things that I do, but I definitely refer to people as kids a lot. In an endearing sort, like, I mean it in an endearing way, but I understand that it can be infantilizing for some folks, and that's not what I want to do. Right? Friend is a good, safe option. Just, hey, friend. But, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's a whole thing for all of us. Something we all gotta work on. And that's okay. Well, that was a thing. Alright, let's go ahead and clock in. It's gonna get hectic here in a minute. But, yeah, I think I've been able to do the, like, switching over from you guys. I still say that one a lot, I know, but just incorporating y'all and folks into my vocabulary. Very safe gender-neutral terms as well. Okay. shall we do the thing? Someone is here. Do that. Okay, okay. Got those started. Let's get soda prepped. Let's get a soda prepped. What do you want? Fries, poppin' pork sandwich, no tomato, salmon nuggets. Poppin' pork. Pork, 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 pork. Please. Cook that. No tomato? No tomato. Lettuce, pickle, cheese, onion. That's a terrible sound. What was that? Salmon and fries. Did not like those noises. Salmon and fries and pork. Oh no. It's fine. It didn't burn.
I'm not the biggest fan of modern
Everything
art,
is fine.
but maybe you should head to the museum. Could have some answers for you. Who
Yeah,
knows?
those sounds were not fantastic. We did not appreciate it, but that's okay. Who is that? Hi, what do you want? What can I get for you? Happy dog, no mustard, poppin' pork, no pickle, and a shake. Happy burger, poppin' pork. Oh god, I've already forgotten. Poppin' pork, and then a hot dog. Poppin' pork, then a hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog, hot dog, hot diggity dog. Who? You absolute menace. I actually think he turned it on for me. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a gosh dang hot dog. Please. Please, please, why are you like this? Meat is very angry. You wanted no pickle. Lettuce, cheese, onion, tomato. Oh, what do you want? Toilet is flooding. Plunge it! Okay! I'm not washing my hands, I'm sorry! Shake, hot dog. Shake, hot dog. Shake, hot dog! It said no mustard, right? It did. Good. Great. What was this? Took too long on a lobby order. Well, they can all deal. Fries and a soft drink. Toe's just over here giggling to himself. This fucker, though. Alright, who's next? We think he's alive. Fantastic fowl. No pickle. Hot pie. Fries. Fowl. Chicken. Chicken. Chicken patty. Patty of the chicken. It's probably gonna start clucking or something. I don't know. Fries. Hot pie. Hot dog. No mustard. stop. There's a rat in here, isn't there? Fries. Oh, what do you want? Find and dispose of the live rat. I have run out of time. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I can't make everyone a burger, I'm sorry. That chicken is gonna be burnt, isn't it? Ah! Just barely made it. Okay, it's fine. Everything is fine. What did you want? No pickle. I think that's done. I think it's done. I saw Happy out there. No, it's the farmer. Never mind. Happy Dog. Poppin' Pork. Oh no. Not the flood. This rat is just going to scream at me this entire time. We need a Happy Dog with everything on it. I can do that. That can happen. And pork, salmon nuggets. Pork, salmon nuggets. Pork. Salmon nuggets. There's too much here. And no pickle. Okay, I can make that while the burger is cooking. Oh no. Please. Trash at the back door. It's home time. Please. I just booped that rat! Just went smack. Boop. I can pick them all up at the same time. Why did I think I couldn't pick them all up at the same time? Well, I've got ridden... Okay. That makes that task a lot less terrifying, honestly. Can I turn the lights back on? Well, budge. Okay. I have too many items. Fatally splooted. Take more than one trip. Your bloodline is weak. It's, I mean, to be fair, it is. Genuinely. End of day summary. You served a total of 4 customers. To meet the threshold, you need less than 2 infractions, and you got a total of 2 infractions. Satisfied today's work. Great. You love to see it. Let's go ahead and clock out. This is genuinely stressful at times. I love it, but oof. Oof. It's okay, we got $100. Can I go to the museum now? Can I crawl in here? Are you serious? I can't climb up though. Okay, well, that's heartbreaking. Excuse me. I don't know that I should be in here. Thank you. I don't know what that says. We'll look at it later. This is miserable to look at, though. In case anyone was wondering.
Still haven't gone to the museum, huh? You should go there.
We are
Happy the Humble Heifer
busy
exhibit.
right
Find
now,
out some
Vic.
of the creepy history of your corporate overlords. They sure do milk that franchise. Am I right?
Please, right. The ball pit has no balls. This is true. Hold on. Where does this go? Excuse me? Oh, that's okay, there is a dome there. I am so lost. I think this is a slide. I don't want to go down just yet. What if we find more things up in here? Oh, I didn't like that sound. We are tired. We gotta go. It's fine. Bye! Let's leave. I would love to get into the museum. Alright, look. Look. Would love, adore to go into the museum.
Guess what? The new Elysian Museum has finally opened up. Corporate says there's supposed to be a happy exhibit there. Why don't you go check it out? Sounds like a blast.
There's a tape up there. Okay, well we can get into the museum now. So that's exciting. We will do that in the morning. Because I need to sleep.
It's advised to proceed with extreme caution around acid Peter. Despite his immobility, he is highly dangerous. Peter throws explosive projectiles peel off of his own body at any perceived prey.
I mean, we know this. We've seen this.
Fuses with the AI units, creating a new organism. These ghouls function as Peter's servants.
Oh.
They might have some sort of connection. A hive mind. Ironically, the same sort of hive mind Grim dreams of creating. If Peter somehow manages to dislodge himself from the ground and escape this facility, him and his AI minions will do unspeakable damage to Kayshurrr.
Wild. Alright. Let's sleep. And then we'll go to the museum. Maybe do another boss? Consider? Big rock. Big rock. Alright. It's sleep time. I also need to wipe my nose. Excuse me. Hello, llama! You finally woke up. She looks a little confused. She just woke up. Why do you do this, Toe? Okay, museum time. We are still pretty tired, though. What if we just buy... Shouldn't have purchased the, like, large one, but that's okay. We'll hold on to it. Save it for later. Hello, llama! You ever wake up from a nap and then have no idea what's going on? That's Lamia right now. A little disgruntled. This changed! Does that change every day? Okay, before we go in, I do kind of want to just take a look around at these corners. See if they're hiding anything from us. Is somebody still up there? Yeah, there's still a person up there. Hello? Oh. The game says no running. I'm gonna keep running anyway. You can't stop me. I don't need to follow your rules. You're not my real mom. Art! Hi. There's the front desk. Burger bombs. We need a burger bomb. Hi, Toe. Oh, I hate this. I am the exhibit now. We don't have a knife. A knife! Bad fish. What do you have? What is this? The Vaniver family. Hello, this is Chuck Vaniver. Almost 60 years ago, during the Great Scythian War, I made a few doodles to cope with the terror. When I got back from the trenches, I turned them into the Barnyard Buds, the stars of the animated show Farmyard Festivities. For decades, me and my family have had the privilege of making you laugh. As a token of our gratitude for all the support over the years, the cost of admission to the Barnyard Buds exhibit will always be free. We hope we made you smile. Celebrate all of the eras. Leave my black and white stuff behind and tap into the Super Barnyard Buds video games for my son Chuck. Or my grandkids' reboot, Happy Humble Hijinks. Or take a look at the Escape from the Barn anime, comic, and kaiju films. Thanks, Tex.
Within the oceans of ice govern themselves, as do all tribes scattered across the outcast islands. The Wall of Rock stands on the southernmost border of Sana, protecting civilized folks from the cannibal tribes of the Zurakin Desert.
I'm stuck.
Ultron is a ringed planet orbited by 3 moons. Past research indicates a high potential for resource mining. The team sent to investigate the planet discovered
so loud.
Of its surface is
Oh, hey, it's the lady from the Steel and Cell. Probably. The floor is probably sticky. Gross. Okay, but this is actually kind of cool. Look at all this art. Ha ha ha. I am a broken warrior finding a new path. Why is there no floor? Why is the floor gone? Okay, we need to make a burger bomb. And to do that, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's get a boba cell. Let's also grab one of these. Got the same art twice over. Maybe it's just slightly different. Maybe it's just slightly different. And it's a spot the difference kind of a situation. It's an interactive museum is what I'm saying.
Still haven't gone to the museum, huh?
You gotta stand next to the 2 pictures.
For exhibit.
Vic.
Find out some of the
Vic.
creepy history of your corporate
Vic.
overlords. They sure do milk that franchise.
Yeah,
Am I
one of the
right?
spot the difference arts. Vic, we just left the museum because I need to make a bomb so we can blow up the museum. All right, hear me out. No, you you are correct, David. We did just leave the museum. That's the word my brain was trying to look for and then completely forgot about. Okay, let's go. Let's go make a bomb, kids. Right? So, like, okay. So, hear me out. Clearly, this simulation business, evil. Not great, right? Putting people into a simulation against their will. Questionable at best. Downright evil at worst. Cool. We've established that. I don't know that I trust Vic entirely either, though. You know? Vic is a... I don't know. Is it against our will? Assumably? Assumably. I don't know that I would agree to this, so I'm gonna assume that it's, against our will. That is my assumption. Look, it could be that I'm wrong. Maybe it's not against our will. Maybe we agreed to this. Sorry. The way that burger just bounced off of that. I do love bringing joy to all the simulations by providing them with wonderful burgers. I do want to look at our notes real fast. I'm scared? There are monsters in here with me. I'm scared? Is that what you're trying to say? Lucidius Initiative. Welcome to the Lucidius Initiative. In this bold new venture, Obscura has elected to push the limits of cognition-altering technology. Goals: worker obedience, societal complacency, cultural stagnancy, corporate monopoly on innovation, free thought upgraded to text thought. I don't think we agreed to this. Just saying. I want to read this, but I can't. That looks like it's a note on PD Pig, though. Okay, well, we can't read those. Let's go blow up a museum. I don't think this is our favorite thing, Fruity. Something tells me that this is in fact not our favorite thing to do. Look, I could be wrong. It would be the first. No! Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. I pushed the wrong button. Maybe they explained all of this to us in detail. We were like, oh, hell yeah! Sign me up! I mean, there is a possibility for that. But, I don't like it. I don't like it. Not into it anymore. I would like to retract my earlier, enthusiasm and compliance. I'm so upset right now. Okay, and then we need a battery and some more meat. I am so mad at myself for pushing the wrong button. These alarm clocks are not cheap, okay? We can always dupe a few Gregs if we need cash. Where am I gonna get the Gregs? We got grobbed! I don't know if you recall, Fruity, but we got grobbed. And I think we only have the one Greg now. And that's heartbreaking. It's not fine. It's the furthest thing from being fine. You tried not being robbed? Hadn't considered. That's a brilliant idea. Thank you. Let's buy a burger patty and a battery. Let's go make another bomb. Gonna be real good at making these pretty quick.
So where do they got you? The graveyard shift? Hospital? Don't tell me you're at the burger joint.
I'm at the burger joint.
You wouldn't catch me dead in that place. Tell you what, I'll scratch your back if you can scratch mine. But you gotta find it first.
I was gonna say, should have thought about that before we had all that stuff. It's true. It is true. Okay, we technically have 2 Gregs. 3 Gregs? I have found 3 in total. I wonder if it just gets rid of all the items that you have saved if you quit. Honestly. Thank you, Fruity, for the clip. I promise I'm gonna start making monthly compilations again. Just as soon as I get the energy to do it. I have not forgotten. I've just been so stressed out about existence. But they will return eventually. Just know. We've not given up on them. I figured everyone would be fine with it for like whenever I get back to it. But just know that they will come back. It'll be great. I'll drop like the 3 months worth of them all at once. It's gonna be so much content. You are gonna die. Is your butt okay? What does the name a daughter reward mean? Oh! You've not been here for that. We're, in the afternoons. Generally in the afternoons. Shush for a second. We are playing a game called My Lovely Daughter, during the afternoons on the weekdays. And you get to make lovely little homunculi daughters. And they all need names before you brutally murder them. So if you want to add a name to the list for a daughter, you can name a daughter that I will viciously and brutally murder later on. Yeah. Gone through 13 at least. At least. Oh, I should have probably listened to what that man had to say, but I was already done with him. Mind your height! Watch your profanity. You'll have to make it to a daughter stream. It's a really good game. I've been seriously enjoying it.
I remember this place. It's where they throw all the broken bits and trash. You might actually find my body down here if you don't mind looking. E7 went down though. Find a way down. Down, 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 down.
Okay, I got it. I got you. I have nothing to throw at these people. I can just run past them. Okay, good. I actually find you down here. Arcade, is this a frequent haunt for you? Is it stinky? Is that why we're making bad gagging noises? Rip Slagathor. We loved you so much. So much so that we forgot you were a thing. Food. You know, let's do... This is a bad thing, but it will heal us. But it also gets rid of a lot of our energy. Can I not pick that up? It healed us a little bit. It got rid of our energy, though. It's fine. It just makes sounds more soundy. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. But they're already so soundy. I mean, valid, 100%. Sounds are a lot sometimes. A lot of the time. I don't know, like they're not they're not great. Make my brain a little icky. But of all the games that I've played that have just bad sounds, these ones are at least like, I don't know, I find that these are tempered enough that I'm not just sitting here like wanting to crawl out of my skin the entire time. Can we open up? Hello? Yeah, door's not happy. I take that and throw it at the door? Which barnyard bud do you think we're gonna find here? Am I looking for his body? I mean, I know he mentioned it. But is that... Could be anyone in the museum. Please. Please. Fruity. I know we've already looked over here, but I just want to, like, double check again. Nothing. Okay. I do keep hearing, like, clicking sounds, but I'm pretty sure it's just the ambiance. That's where we came from, right? So is there anything else over here? An emergency, break glass! That's some pretty intense glass! Oh. Hello? We found the button. It did open. Yoop. Oh, I hate this. Ah! Ah! I didn't need my kneecaps anyway. Speedrun strats. Controlled falling. Our poor energy. I have my flashlight on. Oh, I hate this. I don't want to go through there. Yeah, I fell a little too much. Just a smidge. I'm gonna hug the wall. The burger is a lie. Wheel. That's all my soda. I have drunk all my soda. Extreme danger. Magma and dangerous entities within. Nothing beyond this point is worth dying for.
Hey, E42, this is a really bad place. You shouldn't be down here.
Yeah, I know.
E7 told me that chicken lives down here.
Oh no.
Charlie isn't so chill anymore, if you know what I'm saying. E7 kept talking about frying the chicken, which kind of sounds good, actually. Maybe you can figure it out? Make sure to bring me a souvenir.
Okay, what do we got? Paragon RSR real-time status report. Steam turbine not enabled. Steam propane mixture compromised. Asset is not contained or neutralized. Great. I love this for us. Hello? We will die. Before we get a chance to properly do this. But that's okay, because if it's anything like last time... Shouldn't have done that. Should not. Wait, are those eggs? Yes, die of fun. Easy's going to be great. No problems. Oh! Oh! There's a thing there. Give. Let me eat. They're bad eggs. I may understand why Cyril hates eggs now. It all makes sense. It's all coming together now. Gotta make patties. But how? What is this?
So, I got moved again. This time from an early burger farm stage in unfinished city to a super spruced up version called,
Spruce?
New Elysian City. Man, I can't believe they actually gave us trucks in some of those simulations.
Not gonna trip it for science, not yet.
Anyway, I finally managed to transfer VIC from my old apartment near the diner to, my new apartment in New Elysian. Dragged Vic by the cables through the sewers. He wouldn't stop complaining the whole way. Almost got us caught by one of those
So it's like a bunch of old stuff, maybe you can find something useful.
We've, started to work on these recipes. Keycard hackers, bombs, and the most important of all, the helmet. When the helmet is finished, it'll fry that lousy chip they implanted in my skull. And then I can finally get out of this place. Once and for all.
Gotta make a helmet! Are you sure you didn't do it, Fruity? You sure? They said they spruced it up, which kind of sounds like they did a thing. 70% sure. That's good enough for me. Okay, we'll have to come back in here for more bits. I do have the burger bits on us. Why are you like this? Chicken burgers into the thing. Cage? A bell? The chicken comes and eats, and then you fry the chicken. I see, I see. Okay.
Now I remember. Put 3 finished sandwiches in the food bowl. That'll give you access to the observation chamber. From there, you can deep fry Charlie. Once the asset is contained, the AI system will open the break room. Paragon was pretty strict with work shifts. They lock their workers in until lunch. They treat employees as bad as they treated test subjects. And Obscura is even worse.
Look at that chicken, though! It's hard to see because he's all flashy and stuff, but... Notice employees' feed hatch is designed to open based on a weight mechanism. Do not enter this room unless hatch is open and accessible to observation rig. I don't want to be here. Can I just say, for the record, don't want to be here. This is not particularly my idea of a good time. Okay. We are gonna break these eggs right now. So we just don't have to worry about them, right? We got... Give me those. Because that's what all was here, right? Chicken patty. And then the tomato. Can't do it. Fruity's right. Gotta break a couple eggs if you want to make a hamburger. It's necessary. Orbs! Explosion warning! It's the eggs, isn't it? Employee's kitchen. I need to go into there, though. Never touch the orbs, but I want to.
Wow. I'm surprised you made it to the power control room without running into Charlie yet.
Don't say that.
He probably sees you. If that happens, run. I advise you try your hardest to avoid him entirely. Try hiding behind objects. Stealth is crucial here. You might notice lasers. Those will set off an alarm that Charlie will rush towards. Same with the eggs. Those explode and get Charlie's attention. Get the power running and watch out for him. You can always duck into the vents to take a breather.
Cylindrical mechanism misfiring aborting sequence. Oh, I see, I see. So there. I could have gotten that second one, but I panicked. There. There.
Warning. Pressure leak detected. Check lower pipe room or seek engineering assistance immediately. Advertencia. Fuga de presión detectada. Verifique la sala de tuberías inferior o busque ayuda de ingeniería de inmediato. 警告。圧力漏れが検出されました。下部の配管室を確認するか、すぐに技術支援を求めてください。
I think I hear him. I'm pretty sure I hear him. Oh, I hate this. You wanna go, Charlie? Charlie, I need you to get, bud. I'm not here. Wild alien isolation vibes. This sucks. Alright. Get away from me, Charlie! Can you not camp? Please! Not me, like, getting all tense over a goddamn chicken! He needs to go. He needs to go away. I need him to go away. Alright. Let's take a moment to just get a drink. He is being a little bitch right now. And he's left an egg for us. Great. Go get your food, Arcade! Thank you for being here. It's always a delight to see ya. I hope you have a good rest of your night. We'll see you next time. Bad chicken. Bad chicken. Chicken bad. Bad chicken! gonna hurt. Okay. I'll see you later, friends! That's very loud. Where am I supposed to make these dang burgers? Like, I would assume in the employee kitchen, right? But how do we get in there?
Way to go! You found the boiler room.
Please.
Check the piping and make sure there's nothing missing. This machine was known to break down.
We gotta find all those big pipes.
Scattered around the facility.
I don't know that it did.
One at a time, though. Otherwise, they'll pop out.
Like, I think it put us back at the beginning of the area. We just watched that. We just watched that boy poop out an egg. Thank you for the lurk, Panda. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't know that it, like, reset all of our progress. I think we might still have had that one room done. Because, like, all the other rooms have opened up now. We need to find all of the pipes. Yeah, chicken is still loose. It's extremely unfortunate. We need 3 in total. He's gonna get me. I need the chicken to not fixate on us. Preferably, if Charlie could not lurk where I'm hanging out at any given time. This is so loud. Okay, this is gonna be rough. I am gonna turn it down a little bit because it looks like it's extremely loud for you guys, but it is also extremely loud for me. So we're gonna turn it to about there. No, not quit. Continue. Is that too quiet now? Loud red duck is cheating. Facts. Hey, who are you? Aside from dead. Too quiet now? Fuck off, Charlie! It's a nice change from before. I mean... we'll turn it up just a smidge. The difference with those sliders is ridiculous. Okay, that's where the pipes need to go, right? I don't feel like there's like can't really sneak around this dumb chicken. Dumb chicken is dumb. And everywhere. And our poor boy is so tired. Right? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. These sounds are ridiculous. But now it's like too quiet. But this is like where I had it before. So I guess let's try it about there. I don't know if that's gonna be any good. Oh well. We'll find out. there's meat hooks everywhere? I just want to find the big pipes, that's all. I can hear him. It's a cool monster design, though. Charlie angry. Might just be a good idea to go back this way. Could also be just a touch slower. I wish that the sound design was a little more accurate. Because it kind of sounds like it's hard. You can kind of gauge what direction he's in, but not very easily or very well. So that would be nice. To get a better read on, like, where he is. I think he's coming this way, though, and there's nowhere in here to hide. There we go. Okay, well, we've got 2 of the pipes that we need. I don't know what he just walked over, but he wanted to get a little elevated. I dig it. I'm here for it. I'm glad we found this place when we did, because that gives us, like, a whole hour to kind of wander around and figure out what's happening. Might be worth it to run. He's just gonna live in here. Doing it. Because I can do that. Where did it go? Where did it go? Excuse you. Did I lose my pipe? Game. It's fine, we found it. It said, no, your pipe will be out here now. I was gonna be so upset if it phased through a wall or something. Like, I need this. Game, I need this pipe. You cannot take it away from me. Pipe said, I'm gonna go on a little trip.
Now I remember. Put
Yeah,
3
no, we
fish
know.
sandwiches in the food bowl. That'll give you access to the observation chamber. From there, you can deep fry Charlie. Once the asset is contained, the AI system will open the break room. Paragon was pretty strict with work shifts. They lock their workers in until lunch.
We
They treat
need...
employees as bad as they treated test subjects. And Obscura is even worse.
Where was that other pipe? I wish his tracking was a little different as well. Did not like that. Because it seems like I understand keeping an enemy in the same general area as the player, but it's like he knows where I'm going, and that's a little frustrating. Because I have no chance of, like, really hiding from him at this moment. I just have to kind of, like, rush from one vent to the next. I also have, like, no energy. This is a problem. This is all a bit of an issue. Can we find some coffee or something? Hey, game. A vending machine. Beautiful. You love to see it. Okay, okay.
Looks like you found the employee kitchen. I hear they start using cockroaches and rats in the meat. That doesn't stop Charlie from eating them, though. I think I heard Obscura guards talking about feeding him. All the ingredients are scattered in boxes throughout the facility. He's a big boy, so be sure to cook him up 3 sandwiches. That should do the trick.
No, we know. We understand. Excuse me, sorry. This is okay. I just need one more pipe. Look, he's looking at me. I need their tracking to be a little different. Just a little different. Shit. It's fine. It's fine. He's gonna be distracted by that alarm for a minute. Okay. And then we can, I don't know, put this pipe somewhere. Need to find the third one.
Way to go! You found the boiler room. Check the piping and make sure there's nothing missing. This machine was known to break down. That's why there's so many extra pipe fittings scattered around the facility. Put them in one at a time, though. Otherwise, they'll pop out.
We'll just sneak on over the statue. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay. Okay. Where is that last pipe? Is this it? Is this the last pipe? It is. Okay. Well, how do we get around Charlie then? He's probably gonna come over here. I have no idea where he is. Please. You didn't see me, though! I am gonna take 3 of these. Just in preparation of making sandwiches. Shit. It's fine. It's fine. We got through. And we didn't take that much damage. Great. Let's get through here. Let's put the pipe in. That made a lot of noise, so that means that Charlie's gonna come for us, because that's what he do. boy. This is all fine. It's not. It's not fine. No! This is cheating! That egg is right in front of the blocker! Oh! Please! Sir! No! Oh, I hated that! I don't... Chicken's eyesight relies on movement. What the cluck is right? We're getting out of here. We gotta get out of here. Holy shit. To say the least about that. Fucking hell. This is fine. Okay, it's fine. Eat shit, Charlie. Yeah, that was awful. I hated that. Charlie said, "You will look at me." What if I can draw him towards the alarm? I need to get back into the kitchen, but I don't remember how I got there. It was one of these. Go, 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 go. Please. Was it? It wasn't this one, was it? No, because this is where we got the meat. Ouch. Am I certain it wasn't through here anywhere? The answer is no, I'm not. It's this one. Okay. We're not safe in here. But
Dr. Rochelle Luna, current assignment call sign E14. I enter the Lucidus Initiative simulations by my own volition. While I told my superiors I wish to test efficacy, I am here to test ethics. Are these simulations humane?
no.
I will record my observations and report my findings upon extraction.
Okay, we have 3 chicken patties, and I'm kind of annoyed because there were more in there. Let's go get the rest of the ingredients and then make all 3 burgers at once. So that we can just yeet all of them into... You're also just patties. Shit. So we can eat all of the burgers in at the same time. This is not where I want to be. What if I just... So we got onion. We got patties. We got... That's it, really. That's all we've got at the moment. He is in there. Oof. We got pickles. So we need lettuce and cheese and tomato? This isn't the way that I want to go. But it is the way that we will go for right now. I don't know where else they want me to be. Okay, that's... I would love to have a map of some sort. Just even like a crudely drawn map so I can kind of keep track of the twists and turns. There's lettuce. Okay, this is how we get back into the kitchen. Heyo. There's the onion. There are our pickles. Great, we are making progress. Please, maps. Please, maps. Consider maps. Please, please, please. I'm stuck on the wall. That is the goal. Not to die. That is correct. Was there tomato in this room? There's nothing in this room. This is all a bad room. That doesn't even work. There was an egg in the ceiling. That seems normal and fine. This all seems normal and fine. Fucking hell. Can I throw this at this egg? It touched it. Why didn't it explode? Why did it not explode? I'm disappointed. We're checking out this. No. No. Free. No. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Bad. All bad. They're very good, but they're bad. But they're very good, but they're bad. Consider. I need... Fuck it. I don't even care. We're about to go into the kitchen anyway. We can purchase some health items. I'm willing to take it. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, great. We're topped off. We need... lettuce and cheese. There was lettuce out here. Please. Please, all of you. We can't keep doing this. Ah! He didn't hear me. Where is the cheese? This is the real question now. Do you like how I'm putting all of our ingredients in the garbage? Is my chicken on the loose? Cheese got it in first. Please. Where is the cheese? It's not over here. I need to stop tempting fate by jumping onto that. There's nothing in here. I just need to find the cheese, that's all! That's all that's left. That's onion. There's Charlie. Oh. I didn't want to bring that, or I didn't want to eat that, but that at least... That shininess, though. Charlie, please. Please, why are you like this? I'm just gonna screenshot this for later. I need him to not do this! I gotta think like a cheese. If I were cheese, where would I be? Stuck to the ceiling is where I would be if I was cheese. You're an absolute goddamn menace. Cheese. Just fancy aged milk. This might have to be another, run situation. Since he won't fucking leave! They gotta work this out. This is ridiculous. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. I'm zooming! We do be zooming. Look at me go! Zoom. This is what it's like to be coffee cereal. Sometimes you just be zooming. It's fine. Now you know. Where the fuck is the cheese? I am a little bit annoyed. Speak of Cyril and they will appear. Hi, Cyril. It's burgers time. Gotta make some burgers. I need to find some cheese for my burgers. Chicken. How's it going, friend? How are you doing? Zoom! Just right on over that. That's the pickles. Our health is hurting. I got too zoomy for our own good. I just mentioned, so our character's moving real fast right now. And I was like, this is what it's like to be coffee cereal. It's coffee cereal time. that... Fuck. Please. We found the cheese. It's cheese time. Whee! Whee! Alright, we've got everything that we need. Surprise! Coffee cereal's here. It's fine, don't worry about it. Okay, let's just top off our health and stuff. And, we'll throw our cheese right here. And then we'll, where are the bottom buns? There they are. We'll put that there. Do these need to be cooked? Meat is spoiled, yuck! Okay, game, listen here. It's all bad meat anyway, right? Nobody likes raw meat. There it goes. But yeah, how's it going, Cyril? How are you doing? Welcome. We're wild in here. I'm just glad we've made progress. That's still raw. It's still raw. It's still raw. It's cooked. We've done it. Put that there. Charlie wants to eat us. Does that mean our goose is cooked? Yes. You won't get anything more from me other than that. World's shortest workout after not moving for 100 years and I feel like a noodle. Look. Any movement is better than no movement. Even if it was a short dealio, you did it. And that's exciting. And I'm proud of you for getting up and doing the thing. This is Happy's Humble Burger Farm, where we are a line cook. That's not what they are. I'm a fast food worker. And I gotta get out of this alternate reality that we found ourselves in. It's fine. It's winter, Charlie. Migrate! Facts, though. We are currently being chased around by a big old chicken. And that sucks. We don't like that for us. It's extremely unfortunate for us, really. Honestly. But hey, what can you do? Cook up some chicken to feed to a chicken. Yeah, if you ever wanted to know what working fast food is like, this is an accurate representation. It's extremely unfortunate. But hey, that's okay. There you go. And here's our last burger! Great. You love to see it. Let's just pick up our trash ingredients. But yeah, basically you wake up in this world and you work at a fast food joint. And you gotta figure out the mysteries of the place that you work at. We have beaten a giant pig. We have made lots of burgers. We are now fighting a giant chicken. It's a good time. Okay. We gotta get to Charlie's little hideout, which is here. Check it out. It is a fucking wild game. Would highly recommend. Smiley was the one who I've been following it for a while, but Smiley wanted to wanted me to play this. And of course I had to oblige because we love Smiley here. Don't even get me started on the cow. We are gonna have to fight the farmer and the fish, aren't we? Of course we fought a giant pig. A cab! Facts, though. Charlie! Here he comes! Here comes the fucking idiot. Eat shit and die, Charlie! Anybody want any chicken? Oh, cops are burgers. We've only gone and done it. Right? Roasted chicken. Anyone hungry? Look at that motherfucker. We showed him. Okay, now what? Hey game? Now what do I do? I can't go this way. I kinda can. No, I can't. I can't do that. That's a bad idea. So, hey Vic. Hey buddy. I killed the chicken. Now what? Paragon RSR real-time status report. There's nothing there. Exit. Exit's open. Okay. Burger is a lie. Just remember, the burger is a lie. This place smells very... this place smells very bad for sure. Definitely not great. Definitely not great smelling. What is there? Hold on. Elephant in the room. Who else has heard the screams? People are going missing. Please put the toilet seat down after use. Happy's humble paradise. Great. What does this say?
Hey, 42, you found that recipe, the one for the Zappy helmet. E7 was looking for that for a long time. He said it makes the bad brain chip not work anymore. I think he meant the inhibitor chip that all test subjects get when they come here. You know that tow guy? The one that walks around the apartment? You see him all the time? He has had one for so long that his brain isn't so smart anymore.
We love tow. We love tow here. I didn't mean to eat that. Barnyard Billions, scratch and win. I won no credits. That's unfortunate. All right, what is this? What do these say? Tried to stop it, but maybe Grimm's plan for a world government is... I can't read any of this game. Okay, well that sucked. What does this one say? Well, I tried. I finally tied one of the test subjects to the outside world. The youngest ever brought in. He's been here for years, and I found his dad. I got the dad on the island, but everything fell apart. Grimm dropped his bomb, and he's gonna get his wish. A world government to blackmail and control. Sorry, this is hard to read. I have no idea if the father survived the blast, but I set the son loose, and and he managed to find his way out. Maybe they'll find each other in all this chaos. As for me, they're beating down this door and got bullets to spare. I don't think I'm making it out this time. For all the wrong I did, maybe this family will reunite, alert authorities, and put a stop to Grimm before it's too late. Signed, a former Paragon scientist. Okay, well, that sucks for you. Extremely unfortunate, but I think I'm gonna... we're gonna fall through the hole now. I'm glad there was water here. What? Did I not swim fast enough, or am I not supposed to swim up? It did kind of look like tents occurred. Ah! What was that? Are we... I was gonna say, are we fighting the salmon now? Because I'm not prepared for that. Please, in the hole. In. Get in. Oh, you won't let me because I don't have this. I appreciate me not being able to soft lock myself out from the end of the game. I keep swimming the wrong way! I also got the achievement Deja Vu. Welcome to the chaos. I keep swimming the wrong way. No fishing. No fishing! Ah! This is fine. Why did you auto die? Because there's a big fish chasing us. I would show you, but I don't want to do this again. So we're just gonna keep swimming? Hopefully not drown? No fishing. No fishing. None fishing. Thank you, Luna. Someone here speaking some sense. It's Luna. In case you didn't know, it's Luna. I just want to get out of here. Just get me out of here. Just get me out of this dang hole. Can I look behind me now? Ah! It all collapsed. I'm glad I looked at him at that last second. Great. Does that mean we don't have to fight him? Because that would be awesome. I would love that for me. Praise the bun! Wowie.
You must construct and wear E7's helmet to fire the chip in your brain. It'll probably stab it, and you might get some weird flashbacks, but it's the only way to escape this place. The chip is like a shock collar for test subjects. You gotta fry it.
Hi! That makes my brain go, ouch. Everything is collapsing around us. That seems less than ideal. This is what happens when you don't fish, though. The fish get too large and rise up. Okay, well, someone else can do the fishing then.
Both managed to be contained quickly. We cut off the lower levels of the underground facility shortly after the meltdown. Samuel swims about the abandoned sewer tunnels and Acid Farm was last seen roaming the area around the Happy Hamburger Retro Diamond simulation. He's got that big bloody sickle. Saw him decapitate 3 guards on swipe once, but for some reason...
Not Snape. Not Snape. That's one of the scientists who started all this nonsense. Game. Rude. You don't get to just spawn me onto a man that makes all the sounds go bad. Rude.
What's up, Seacoast Row subscribers? Been at this King's Comfort Resort for a while now, and Obscura stuck to their word. My last broadcast, you may remember me signing a legally binding verbal contract. This contract essentially stuck me under Obscura control for a year. And they weren't kidding.
I haven't been allowed to leave the island.
We can't play music.
Anyway, I'm gonna upload these short audio logs onto this private Seacoast Roast status post server.
What is happening?
Subscribers get to hear it. Since that's the case, may as well drop a little bombshell on you here. Maverick Cooper, signing off.
6 Foot Smell Limit, we're here. Look, we love 6 Foot Smell Limit and their music, but they are absolute monsters when it comes to the venues that they play. Zero respect for their surroundings.
People need to know fabricating reality isn't some ticket to paradise. It's a totalitarian cult, and with the world government backing it, it has the potential to kill millions. Anyone who dissents is in danger. Maverick Cooper, signing out.
Listen to me, folks. Everyone is so mortified when anyone
Sure aren't all that bad, you know?
Sure,
they may have extended my contract numerous times, keeping me here for what has to be several years at this point. Really hard to tell how much time passes when you're underground. But at least they've been lining up great interviews for me at New Elysian Talk Radio.
This is wild.
Maverick, Cam Cooper.
Damn it. Okay, so... what am I doing here? What is happening? Where do I go? What? That's locked. There are no other doors over here. This just goes back to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. I would like to go back to my apartment, honestly. More than anything, I would love to go to my apartment. Like cardboard cutouts. Good, I'm glad you went to the lobby. Did you get yourself a snack? Because you should. I love it. I love it. You missed all the build up for what's going on here. I would recommend either checking out the VOD for yesterday, or playing this yourself, honestly. I mean, with, like, most things, I do just recommend people play these games. This is... this is wild. This can't be the end, though. Like, I know that, like, the world is starting to freak out, right? It do be like that sometimes, though. I want to get out? That's the wrong button. I can't jump over. Where am I supposed to go? Grabbed a handful of olives? Great! We tried that. Like, I have to go into this building, right? But, like... there wasn't anything there? Is there anything over here? Can we do anything here? There's that little buddy just crawling around. This is all trash. Great. I do really like what's happening so far. I like this idea of this corporation trying to take over the world government in order to do their evil bidding. Could just start eating garbage. Are we the trash man? Just get up there and eat trash. Perfect. You love to You love to eat trash? Sometimes you just gotta eat some trash. But seriously? There's gotta be something in here. What did we have back here? There were these.
Coast Row Public Radio. Search the sound waves. Catch the coast.
Welcome back to Seacoast Row Public Radio. Obscura Biotech has emerged as a leader in genetic technology, but with it have begun to draw suspicion.
Ace bombs in this next track would level us.
G'day, mate. How's it going?
Listen to me, folks.
The World Scythian Government.
In light of new competition. Hi. You may recognize me as Levant from Status Post. No one else is like you.
Has restless leg syndrome gone forward?
Status Post. You set your...
That Charlie fight was intense, but totally worth it. You found E7's helmet recipe. That fries the mind control chip.
Yeah.
Put in your skull.
Sup? What's going on, guy? Substat. Hello.
Wait.
Set yourself. Substat. So much. You. Set.
Okay, I thought one of those, like, set Vic to speak to me, and that was gonna be horrific. Can you? Oh. Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. Or where I'm supposed to go. That is a bit of a problem, especially since it is technically time for us to be done. So maybe we'll think on this a little bit. And, contemplate what we can do for tomorrow. How we can manage this terrible situation we found ourselves in. Because, like, this is the only place that I can go into, right? That door is locked, though, and there's nothing in the other rooms. I got stuff I gotta go do tonight, though, Cyril. It's Saturday, which means I gotta go hang out with my D&D buddies. I gotta. Are there 2 doors in here? In here. Sir. There are. One of them is like the blue door. We can check that. No fun desserts tonight. We're all taking it super easy. I'm gonna go pick up some ice cream. Basically, is what's gonna happen. It's fine. I can. That is true. You are right. Brings me to the same building. It was a good thought though. Let's go back outside. But yeah, we'll end it here, I guess. Yeah, we'll end it here for right now. And we'll start problems with detecting your system shut down. Oh wait, that's what it said last time too. Okay. Well, while it's getting me back to the main menu, we will continue this tomorrow. Try and figure out what's going on. Figure out where to go. That's the only thing. I think this is like the only time that we've been like majorly stuck. Cause like we were kind of stuck with the museum, but at that point it's like we at least had the option to go back. Like go back to work. Kind of hate the blue screen failure saves. Yeah. It panics me every time I come across it. It could be worse though. Dangerous thinking detected. There is a manual. Is this just the handbook? No, this is, sorry. There's a thing attached to like the game on Steam. It's a little comic. That's kind of cute. But yeah, we're gonna end it here. Let's go ahead and find someone to raid. Like I said, we'll play this again tomorrow. I'm still really enjoying it. I just have no idea what to do as of right now. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. We've been doing pretty good about figuring things out. Let's see who we got online. Unless people have suggestions, as always. Usually, do you wanna? We could go raid Bunno. Don't want to go raid Bunno? They are doing some Core Keeper? I'm unfamiliar with this game. Let's go hang out with Bunno. Alright, let's go ahead and start that raid. Get that set up. Get going. I will see y'all tomorrow. I love y'all. Take care of your dang selves. Thanks for being here and being awesome and just being lovely, lovely, wonderful people. We'll see you next time, yeah? Yeah. So long, friends.